So TC was just on the Guardians of the National Cemetery.org website. What did you think? You liked what you saw, right?
Well, it's first of all, it's so moving and it's absolutely amazing. And then I was also looking at the sculptress, who is
Jennifer Fridakis Petri.
Correct. From
Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
At least currently, that's where her studio is.
Oh, no. She is there. And I mean, she is the real deal. I am so astounded by her artistry and what she's been doing. Her father was a world-renowned sculptor. She's been sculpting since she was 12 years old. And she's gifted. I mean, she just is gifted.
So you've done what I've asked people to do. Just go to the website and see what Steve and Kelly Cordasco are supporting with a $25,000 contribution that they're providing matching funds, hoping that people who hear this, watch the video, will feel inclined to support this worthy cause, which is to put a 9-foot tall on top of a 3-foot platform. So let me do some ciphering. 9, carry the 1, carry the 2. It'll be like 12 feet tall. And it's going to be a bronze statue of General Washington at the Washington's Crossing Veterans Cemetery. So it's a wonderful, wonderful cause. Maybe you'll choose to make a tax-deductible donation. Just go to the Guardians of the National Cemetery.org website. Thank you for that. Time now for the headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. Jim Gardner is a long-standing, legendary broadcaster signing off in Philadelphia this week from the ABC affiliate. So I'm going to say it the way that he would say it. But the big story on Action News tonight is that for the 6th time, TC has turned 50.
I don't know what is wrong with you.
For the 6th time. She's now 50 years old.
It's so
today.
Funny. No, stop it with yourself. So the thing is, I've completely embraced my age, and you seem to not be able to understand that I have no problem with my age.
What are you embracing today?
I'm 51.
Whoa!
I know.
So you finally are acknowledging crossing that threshold.
Yes. 6 years ago.
You look good for 51.
I look good,
like,
period.
Proudly.
Full stop. You don't have to say for 51.
Yeah.
Just, I look good, full stop.
Purportedly born in Alaska?
No, my brother was born in Alaska. I was born in Boston. Boston lying in.
I think you've changed that up.
Yeah.
I think one year you said North Carolina. One year you said Alaska. Your dad flew the plane up there. There was something.
That was Colbert. It's good.
Colbert flew the plane.
No, Colbert was born in Anchorage.
You're in the back of the plane.
You're getting all the cannons mixed up, but that's okay.
So in Boston.
In Boston. Yeah, born in Boston. Did live in Alaska for 3 years and then North Carolina. So that's my childhood, exactly.
So Massachusetts, Alaska.
North Carolina.
Massachusetts.
Back up to Massachusetts.
Pennsylvania.
Exactly. Here we go.
And the journey continues.
The journey continues. What will this year bring?
By the way, TC, for the benefit of those who are watching on YouTube today, what might be in the background?
So this is what I walked into the studio to find this morning, which means you did a little sneaky come back.
I was like a bandit.
Yeah.
I was like a bandit in here.
We left the studio.
In slippers and gloves.
We left the studio at the same time. So you came back to the studio. And so when I walked in earlier than you, so that's not always the case, but I walked into these flowers on my console, which I must say was a very nice way to start
but it's not just the flowers. There's a vase, or as you would say, a vase. There's a vase buried in there.
I don't think you can call it a vase.
It's of solid gold.
It's a container. Well, I moved because the flowers were here this morning, so I had to move them back. I was like, whoa. I picked it up. I was like, why is this so heavy? It's like beautiful iron sculpted floral container with holes in the top so that you make a design like that with very simple flowers. It's
cool.
Perfect. It's really cool.
It's a little keepsake.
Yeah.
Keepsake.
Thanks.
So I hope you have a fabulous day.
Thank you very much.
Fabulous
and
day.
Also thank you for starting my day with a little carrot cake pumpkin situation.
I take care of you.
Holy moly.
I know what the needs are. She needs flowers and she needs food.
Exactly.
Okay? And then she's ready to roll.
Fed and watered and I'm happy.
Exactly. Just like the horses. Exactly.
I'm very woman of simple taste.
Yeah. A little Yellowstone treatment and we're good to go here.
Whoa. Yellowstone treatment? Is that what I'm getting for my birthday?
Well, you don't watch the show.
That would be I saw the headline though.
Today is also winter solstice.
It is.
And I saw a headline that said it's the longest night of the year.
Which
Doesn't it make it the shortest day of the year?
That's how I always say it.
Okay, so it also means that starting tomorrow, I think it's like a minute a day.
Exactly.
Oh, whew,
Exactly.
I can't,
This is it.
Oh
Today's
my God.
the worst.
I can't take. It's so dark and gloomy, and it so impacts my mood and thinking.
It's my birthday.
No, not today. Today it's a wonderful day, but tomorrow it's going to be too damn dark.
No, but starting tomorrow is better every day.
I know that's not fast enough. Not fast enough. Are there any other headlines that I should
that's
get?
it.
That's it. We're
it's
done.
My birthday. We're done.
That's the
here.
end of it.
We don't need to talk about anything else.
So a new book says that President Biden early on in his administration called Vice President Harris a work in progress. She's a work in progress. This is Politico's reporting. In the first months of his presidency, Joe Biden vented his frustration about Vice President Kamala Harris telling a friend that she was a work in progress, according to an upcoming book about the Biden presidency obtained by West Wing Playbook called The Fight of His Life. Word got back to him that the second gentleman, Douglas Emhoff, had been complaining about Harris's policy portfolio, which her allies felt was hurting her politically. Biden was annoyed, says author Chris Whipple, who obtained extensive access to Biden administration officials while writing the book. He hadn't asked Harris to do anything he hadn't done as vice president, and she'd begged him for the voting rights assignment. I mean, she's got two big assignments. One is voting rights, and the second, of course, is the border, or as they like to say it, focusing on the point of origin of all of that migration that right now is assembling in El Paso. I mean, look at the coverage today at Smerconish.com, leading the newsletter coverage about how El Paso is readying for this border crisis. What would the end of Title 42 mean for the thousands waiting in Juarez, waiting for a shift in U.S. immigration policy? The Biden administration intended to lift the order at midnight Tuesday. The Supreme Court put that plan on hold. The question became then, what would the Biden administration policy be? It continues to be lifting Title 42. They've kind of boxed themselves in on this. But the point is, Kamala Harris has an opportunity there, maybe, although some would say, it's been going on for decades and there is no fix. But she certainly has the portfolio, is my point. This will not happen, so don't say that I predicted it being the case. But she really ought to consider asking for a different assignment in a second Biden administration. Now, what might that be? What would give her the heft that oddly she's not getting from being the vice president of the United States, Secretary of State? Or if she decided...
Oh, you mean a different assignment?
Yeah.
I thought you meant a different assignment, like not in charge of the board.
No.
You mean like a really different assignment. Yeah. Oh, my.
Yeah, I think it would be unprecedented, but if she were to go to Joe and say, give me another gig.
We're not helping each other here.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
really interesting.
Yeah, and give me some different responsibility where I really am on the hook for something like Secretary of State. If she were willing to take herself out of the running for being president,
like would have to be her idea.
I don't think he would ever move her out, and if he did, the pressure would be immense to replace her with someone who is similarly female and a person of color. Or as I learned yesterday, and we'll get to the Stanford guidebook, black is what I'm supposed to say.
Okay, this is that's a fascinating twist.
If she didn't aspire to be president, and I believe she does, after all, she ran, then maybe if there's a Supreme Court opening, she wants that. And she says, I'll take that gig. I mean, that's a pretty good gig.
It's a great gig. Would
pretty
she
good
get
gig.
that? So funny that I'm sitting here thinking, like, is she qualified?
Well, okay, there you go. I mean,
I think it's. I mean,
now if you want to,
I believe her reputation has been diminished in this role.
Yes, isn't that stuff? Hey, what wisdom you bring at age 51?
Wait until 52. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I'll be here to see it.
Wow. Wait, is this it? This is it for us?
See it. I don't know. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I mean, in what other circumstance, maybe you would say Dan Quayle, for those who remember it, you'd say, has a person enhanced their standing by being the vice president? Now, one last thought, and I wish Joe to live to be 150 and happy and healthy until the end.
Right.
But, she's the vice president for the oldest president we've ever had, running for re-election.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, boy, this is going to be an interesting year.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a story. It's posted at Smerconish.com. Check it out. Biden say that she's a work in progress. I think I remember my father saying that about my brother and me when we were a work in progress.
It's such a...
Isn't it?
Oof. Yeah, it is.
I mean, I could hear him saying it. In the same way that I could hear my father saying it, I could hear that being part of Biden's lexicon, right?
Totally. Oh, yeah, folks.
You're 51. You're a work in progress.
I am.
It all comes back to you, doesn't it?
You can be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same damn time. That's Jess Sims from Peloton. She says it all the time.
Don't watch unless it's
Peloton. What do you mean don't watch?
I said I don't watch unless it's my two.
Okay,
Leanne or
you gotta break out. You gotta do some strength classes.
So I took a Broadway ride.
Oh, fun.
With Leanne Hainsby this week.
That must have been pure joy.
You know what? There was I was watching the 5, so I really couldn't pay attention to the workout. So yesterday at Smerconish.com, 18,522 votes were cast. Good voting on this question. Has the pressure to tip become too much? And I didn't just mean in a holiday context. 58.92%, can we call it 60-40? Said yes. Too much pressure to tip. Everywhere you go, tip jar, electronic form, it's just too much. Today's poll question, and I implore you, don't suit up in your usual armor, red or blue, but think about the bigger picture question I'm asking. Does the release of Donald Trump's tax returns set a good precedent? Yes or no? Good coverage from the New York Times on exactly this issue posted today at Smerconish.com. Consider this quote. John Koskinen, who served as IRS commissioner in the Obama and Trump administrations, if they get revealed, meaning Trump's taxes, it seems to me they ought to have a pretty good reason for why that's in the public interest. It's a dangerous precedent. Another quote from a different tax authority in this piece. George Yin is an emeritus tax law professor at the University of Virginia, said that the bar should be high for Congress to obtain Mr. Trump's tax returns and even higher to publish them. He's concerned that if the release of the documents is widely viewed as political, then a tit-for-tat scenario is likely to ensure, quote, that's the end of privacy to me. Essentially, no one's tax information is really protected as long as you cross some interest who happens to be in power at some particular point in time, then we're all vulnerable. Is it a pretext, or is there a legislative purpose being served in Congress obtaining and releasing Donald Trump's taxes? That's what I'm asking today at Smerconish.com. As I've said, there'll come a day when it's not all about Trump. So think about the precedent that we are establishing here. President Zelensky addressing the Congress tonight. That's exciting. TC, I was seeing this story in the print edition of the Times today that said the officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of security concerns cautioned the plans were not final and could change. The risks involved in such a visit by a wartime leader are high, and tight secrecy would be almost a certainty. I can understand, of course, the need for secrecy in getting him out of Ukraine.
Right.
But my God, what could be more safe for him than where he's been, than to be in Washington, D.C. and provided all of the security? Who wants to do him harm in America?
Oh, come on. Someone.
Republicans,
really?
Maybe.
No.
Because they don't want to keep funding this.
Like some crazy assassin.
I don't know. I just thought he's far more vulnerable.
This is so interesting to me.
Than he is at home.
You are usually the most cynical,
And what am I today? Optimistic and happy?
Yeah. I mean, I look at that and think he's in danger.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. We're making special allowances here.
Come on. Don't you think that he's in danger wherever he is?
No.
I'm floored by this reaction from you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's also hard to keep up with how much money we've given them. Okay?
Oh, boy.
So, Michael Crowley, the giant annual spending bill unveiled by Congress on Tuesday contains more than $44 billion in emergency aid for Ukraine. So another $44 billion. Further along in the story, the omnibus budget bill, which includes the new Ukraine aid, funds the federal government into next year to avoid a shutdown. If Congress passes it, U.S. aid to Kyiv since Russia invaded in February will amount to more than $100 billion. allocated over 4 emergency spending packages. Congressional leaders hope to win approval for the spending this week. But then further along in the story, it breaks down that which is for military and that which is for humanitarian relief. And I'm not sure exactly, what exactly is the number. I'm for supporting Ukraine and Zelensky. Don't misunderstand. I just wish that the dollars were easier to track. And credit to the Biden administration for keeping this worldwide coalition together in support of Ukraine and President Zelensky, who I think is a hero. I mean, holy crap, he didn't sign up for this. Go back and watch his comedy TV show, which, by the way, is terrific. But like the guy finds himself in a Churchillian position, and he's totally risen to the task. He really has. I'm a great admirer. TC, don't take this the wrong way, on your birthday. It's just a friendly reminder that I want to offer you. Hey, how are we doing with that guest that, let me think of a real example. Hey, how are we doing with booking Mitch Landrieu on the program to talk about infrastructure?
The request is in.
I mean, if that's what you want me to do.
Wow. Okay.
So I've just given you 4 or 5 of the most popular, not popular, that's the wrong word choice.
Most used
passive-aggressive behavior. I think I've heard most of these come out of your mouth.
Well, it's funny.
True or false?
The one I use the most is number 3.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
No, but that's not how I do it.
No,
I'm
like, got it.
Like, I got it. I use it as a mechanism to shut someone down. Like if someone's going on and on and on and saying, you should do this, you should do this.
Got it.
Got it. I got it. So, but I never think of that as passive aggressive. I think of that as just plain aggressive. Like, I got it. So I think tone is important.
This is
you definitely do this.
I do?
Oh, sure.
Which one?
Well, you don't say just a friendly reminder.
Just a friendly reminder.
No, you say FYI or reminder.
Hey, I'm busy.
Maybe you're just aggressive.
I just need to. Yeah, I'm not passive aggressive. I'm just aggressive. So these are really interesting. This is a CNBC story posted at Smerconish.com. Passive aggressive behavior isn't always intentional. As a speech and communications expert, I have found that people who have these tendencies often just struggle with being honest about their emotions. So says the author of this piece. Check it out. Yesterday, we had a great conversation. It came together just before we went on air, all predicated on the so-called elimination of harmful language initiative at Stanford in the IT department. And I came on the program. Go back and listen to the podcast because we were actually pretty proud of it. We thought the whole thing was fun. Yeah. So I came on and I tried to summarize.
I didn't have anything to do with it. It was all you.
I tried to summarize a Trump story
how are we doing on this?
Right. Well, if that's what you want to do. So anyway, I tried to deliver just a 5-minute monologue or commentary, but I used a whole slew of these words that you're not supposed to say. American, addict, dumb, cakewalk, chief, guru. Take a stab at it, peanut gallery, survivor, gangbusters. Who knew? So today I have the actual report and the list posted at Smerconish.com. Please check that out. I have another recommendation.
Whoa.
The man who brought you the Banshees of Inisherin.
That was up for all the awards.
And has also just given you Don't Answer the Phone.
Right.
I have yet another something to recommend for you.
Okay, what is it?
It's a new documentary that I stumbled into last night called Stutz.
Oh, the psychiatrist.
Stutz is he's a therapist who has provided therapy for Jonah Hill. So this is like a 90-minute presentation of a therapy session between Jonah Hill and this, I guess, very well-known, certainly now will be very well-known therapist, very unique individual, and I was totally taken with it.
It is it's an actual therapy session?
Kinda.
Is it a documentary or is it real?
It's a documentary.
So he's talking about his own mental health.
He's constantly trying to. It's only the two of them on camera. Well, okay, you also see Jonah Hill's mom. I don't want to give away too much. But it's Jonah Hill and his therapist in a therapy setting, but continually the therapist tries to turn it on Jonah Hill, but Jonah says, no. Today's not about me. Today's about you. And the whole purpose, the whole premise is not so much to get, the shrink on the couch as it is to get from the psychiatrist who calls the industry shrinks, by the way. That's probably on the Stanford list. I bet you can't say that.
I'm sure you can't say that.
But you could tell that Jonah Hill has had a positive therapeutic experience with this older practitioner whose name is Philip Stutz. And Jonah Hill wants to share the message and the tools that he has obtained from his therapist with the world.
Okay, so
and
it's like he's interviewing him about his technique.
Definitely.
Okay.
And it's a very unusual technique, and it involves, a lot of sketching and cards and illustrations. And I was taken with it.
Those are the tools he uses, sketching and cards and illustration?
Among other things, yeah. Yeah, he likes to sketch the advice that he's giving and give it to his patients. That's a small part, but an important part of it.
This is fascinating.
That's why I'm bringing it up. But here's the kicker.
Oh.
Here's the kicker.
There's a kicker.
Again, just like Don't Answer the Phone, where it's me, half in the bag, looking for something to watch.
Good to know.
I knew nothing about Don't Answer the Phone, nor did I know anything about Stutz. So then after, because, just like earlier today,
what did I just
watch?
watch?
Now I want to know, wow, that was really good. And then I go online when it's all over and I find 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, that's got to be rare.
Posted at Smerconish.com. So that tells me I'm not the only one. A lot of us think it's really special. Watch that. I'd love you to invite Jonah Hill.
All right.
To come on to the program.
Got it.
Hey, don't take this the wrong way, but let me know if you're able to book him, okay? How are we doing with that request I asked for, Jonah Hill?
TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to TC. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.